already know just where I be, dog. I ain't being cocky, but Philly what I'm reppin'. Watch me check it like it's hockey. I ain't tryna get it twisted. If you get it, then you got me. If you with it, cool. If not, I'll treat you like a Tamagotchi. I'ma let you down point. Yeah, I never disappoint.
What's going on, guys? JHoyt back with you today. Welcome back to episode number 14 of the Seattle Attack franchise mode. We came off another very disappointing season. However, our owner was happy enough to re-sign us for the next 4 years. So we got the next 4 years to make the playoffs, essentially. If we don't make the playoffs then either I'm failing, or the people on the ice are failing, or the entire franchise is failing, or Seattle's failing, or something's failing. We're going to try to make it work. We got a big episode here with the offseason. We got a lot of good pieces coming for next year. We got a lot of good pieces already in the organization, and I'm super excited for this episode. But we're starting right off with the entry-level draft. Nothing has really happened, behind the scenes. Just edited some prices and try to get upgrades done and all that other type of front office stuff that doesn't really matter. But either way, let's get right into the entry-level draft. If you guys remember, we don't have a first-round pick unless we traded for one that I don't think we did. But we would have had I think it's the 8th overall pick. But let's go see. That is not what I wanted to go see. I wanted to go see if we actually had a first-round pick or not, because I don't believe we do. So we do not. So here's the picks that we do have. We have a second-round pick, 2 thirds, 3 fifths, and 2 sevenths. So, okay. Not very good picks, but, we have a couple guys in the trade block that we potentially might be not getting rid of, but that are out there to dangle and see if anybody wants them. And there's the first one. So, I did try to offer Kapanen a contract for next year. However, he wants way too much money. He wants way too much money for me to actually re-sign him. Plus, he is our third best right wing right now. And, although I think he does have a very, very bright future, I just don't feel like he's doing much with us. I mean, last year he had a good year. A pretty decent year. 49 points when we first had him. I was like, all right, he is dominating. He was playing, started on the third line, then moved up to the second, and eventually moved up to the first. And then he dropped a little bit. And plus, now we have Besser. Now we have Lindholm. And now he's our third best right wing, performing third best. So, get rid of him for a second round pick. I think we almost have to do that. The pick is for next year. That's the only thing I don't like about this deal. But let's just see. We are every pick but the first round pick next year. So if we can get 2 seconds, that I'd be happy with that. I'm fine for this year because you know what, we have a good team right now anyway. I just don't know why they're not performing. But I say let's do this deal, second round pick for Kapanen. And plus we have Brett Ritchie, who's performing like a second liner anyway, that we could potentially do something with. So let's just go kind of recap the events so far. So 279 overalls went 1 and 2. Pittsburgh and Dallas got lucky enough to get them. So we got a defenseman, and then we got a young left wing, 17 years old, already 79 overall. That's wow. Then looks like Vancouver skipped over on a good offensive defenseman, right-hand defenseman there. Other than that, a bunch of 60s, a 70. Got a little bit delayed on. 50s, 60s. Okay, nothing really special through here. Second round so far, 50s, 60s. Okay, so we got hopefully a higher end pick here. So okay, here's something we need to do. I've been focusing so much on centers and defense that we are just stockpiled with them. I know obviously I can play centers on the wing, but a lot of the time they all have really good face-offs, and it's like I don't want to just not pick the best player. Like, I know that's a lot of what teams do, but I guess we'll just have to see what comes up. So let's go down to a couple here to see what is actually available. So a left-handed, or a left wing that's right-handed, 17 years old, decent defenseman we could possibly get. Here's another center, playmaker. What do we got here? A left wing. Okay, two-way forward. Potentially could be something. Power forward. Right wing. A big power forward, I should say. 6 foot defensive. Damn, there's not a lot of good picks here at all. All right, scroll on a couple more. Top 6. Anything here? Not feeling it. Ooh. I don't think we're going to be able to get that guy, but if he falls to us in the 3rd round, I'll probably pick him up. But, wow. There is not a lot here to pick up. I need wingers. Yeah, I basically just need wingers right now. Wingers and just, you know, whatever the best thing here is. Linden looks to have decent stats. I mean, he's probably like 3-star, 2.5-star across the board. 17 years old. Medium top 9, that's not bad. Marsh doesn't seem half bad either. However, especially for the first pick of the draft, I want to get something that's going to be a little bit more straightforward. Plus, we need, like I said, we need prospect left wings and right wings. Oh, I kind of want to pick one of these two guys. Wanvig or Nelson here. Let's go with Nelson. Right wing. Hopefully he's decent. 58 overall. Okay. I mean, it's so tough to see what's going to go here. Let's sim to the next user pick here. We have a 3rd round pick. I don't know if the guy we marked actually got taken, but did we make the right call about who we picked? So 58, 59, 59. I don't remember the other guys' names now. 59, 59. Okay, 60. Ooh, a couple of 60s. They're high 60s there. So maybe if we looked a little bit farther, we would have found them. But either way, let's get to the next pick. I forgot to look at the start of the 3rd round, but our guy is not there. So let's see what else we got. 12 times scouted. Right-hand defenseman, 17 years old. Seems to be decent already. So let's mark him. What else do we got? 5'11", two-way forward, 7. I'm trying to stay away from 17-year-olds if possible because they take such a weird time to get to be able to play. Ooh, Gord Severson, whatever you want to call him, seems to be decent. Right hand, both guys we're looking at right now, right-handed defenseman. Don Brendamore looks to be decent. Anything else down here? Saint Denis. Okay, he's decent as well. Not as good as the other two. Sam Acton. Elite. Okay. If we're going that far, we'll probably be able to get him in the next round anyway. Let's just check this guy. Okay, he seems to be decent. Let's mark him. So I feel like our best option is either to go to LaBelle or Severson at the bottom of the screen here. So let's just compare the two. The only difference between our two prospect defensemen here is that Severson actually has a little bit better of shooting. That's the only difference. I mean, there are 0.5 difference. So I kind of want to make a... do we have another 54 overall? Wow, okay. So we have another 3rd round pick. I kind of want to get the other one. So let's trade our current round pick, or a 3rd round pick, for this one. We probably have to get up like a 5th or something. That's fine. That doesn't really matter. So 76 to... Okay, so what? 7 pick difference. But let's throw in the 134th pick. Perfect. That's an NHL draft deal if I've ever seen one. But let's go take the other guy, and hopefully he is a little bit better. So what's his name? Serge LaBelle, or Sergey, whatever it is. So we got them both. So 54, 55 overall. LaBelle ended up being 1 overall better, which was kind of weird because, you know, the shooting was a little bit off. But either way, probably, unless something really interesting happens in the last half of the draft, then I'll probably just skip right through it. But we'll see you in the re-sign stage. Just like I predicted, nothing interesting ended up happening. I found a couple of interesting picks that I thought were going to be something, so I ended up making a 6th round or a 7th round trade or whatever. But nothing really interesting. They ended up just becoming, mid-50s. Nothing happened. Let's get into contracts. Hopefully we can actually maintain our team while going into free agency and making a big splash there. Hopefully we can get something good there. I have a depth chart essentially up on my screen. But we have a pretty good balanced team right now. But I am trying to improve a couple key positions as it goes. Shaplik, I do want you to come back. He wants 1.1. He wants to come up, right? Is that what I'm getting at? So 71 points. He's been solidly improving. Definitely want to bring him back. But he wants 2 years. If you want that, let's go 2 years, 1 mil, and hopefully we'll get him a year or two up in the NHL if the lines and everything work out. Riley Nash, I don't really want to keep him because I want to get someone a little bit better for that. Plus, you know, yeah, you can probably tell our center is a little bit stacked right now. Ted Beach, 3rd round pick. Yeah, sure. We'll give you an opportunity down there to see what you can do. Patulny, we will wait on you. I'd like to sign people if they're above 60 overall. It's kind of what I go for when I look for free agents and look for unsigned people. But this is probably where we got the most unsigned people. Sign Berchi to a contract. Oh, he wants a big upgrade. Okay, so let's give him like 5.25 at 3 years. That looks nice to me. Dalcal, ooh, you want a big upgrade too. I really don't want to give that to him, you know, a $3 million deal, especially not knowing what he's going to bring to the team as far as in the NHL. So will we play him in the NHL this year? If he's there, probably. But for right now, I'm just going to, you know, qualify his offer. Hopefully he signs that because I really don't want to pay him like $3 million. Let's see, as our 4th line goes, we still have the Zingle there under a contract. What did he do last year? 34 points. Okay, so he stepped down a little bit in points. Goals weren't really there, but he did fine. Colborne, that was his first full year with us, 17 points. It's good. However, with the competition on our team, you know, if Dalcal doesn't make it, the Zingle's there, and I still want to try to get an 80-plus guy for that spot. But Colborne, we could always probably pick him up in free agency, but definitely not for this year. De La Rose, I mean, you were just kind of a fill-in in the AHL type guy. But let's re-sign Case because he was doing pretty well down there last year. I'm not going to go too much into details about them. Smits, will wait on you. Right wings, yeah, this is where we definitely need some people. Callahan, yeah, we just don't want you. Prosser, what did you do? 53 points, that's not bad. However, I'd rather just rebuild, you know, our entire right wings down there. Let's sign these two. I mean, we got Kemp and Owen. Let's sign both of them because we need AHL guys. And you can probably see some of the guys we got in the draft. Not very interesting ones, but they're decent, I guess. I mean, I don't really know what to call them because we haven't seen them do anything yet. Shattenkirk definitely deserves a big contract. Let's sign you to like 5.5 at 3 years. That'll take him to 34, 35. Let's go 2 years. I don't want to sign him for super long term, especially when we have Bowie and we have Alanko. You know, we have those two guys coming. As for Folan, we got him to fill Alanko's spot for last year. He did fine, so it's not performance related. We have, what would we have down here for next year? We'd have, you know, I'm going to sign him just in case. Just in case Alanko. Oh, you actually want a bunch of money. No, thank you then. I'd rather just sign some guy at the end of free agency for $800K. I'd rather just do that. Let's get down here, though. Olofsson, not feeling it. Yeah, he was good while he was here, but you know what? It's time to do something else. Colton White, you were fine down there. Uyghur, let's get rid of him. Hobbs, that would give us 1 each on extra guys down there. The rest of these guys are all super young. Can't really do anything with them yet. Goaltenders. All right, here comes the fun part. So we have Korpisalo, obviously. We have Velahinen, who looked to be really good in the AHL. We offered him a contract extension earlier in the year. He accepted it, so we have him for 2 more years. Zatkov, we're not going to use him. What I'm thinking about doing is keeping Appleby, so we have... Or no, do I want to keep Appleby? Because I want to get a solid NHL backup, essentially. So that way Velahinen would still start in the AHL, and he could perform down there. We'd have Scott backing up in the AHL, then we could have Zetterberg. I mean, we could keep Appleby. if we really wanted to. Now, we could always sign some random AHL goalie, but let's sign Zetterberg to a contract because he's a starter, so he's gonna want to play. We're try to sign an NHL backup for our NHL team. But either way, let's simulate a day and see who accepts. Wow, only 2 guys that didn't accept their deal. I'll take that any day. So Shattenkirk, of course, he probably wants more years, but let's try to give him some more money because we need to fill up the salary cap anyway. So 6 mil, 2 years for our top line right defenseman. Berchi didn't accept. Okay, so let's sign him. Let's sign him for 6 mil as well for 2 years. So it's similar to Shattenkirk, and we could potentially pick up someone else in free agency as well. We got through the entry-level draft. We got through the re-sign stage. We re-signed everyone that we wanted to. Nobody rejected their offers. But let's get into free agency. We saw the potential free agents that could potentially be there. I think I already said potential in that sentence. But oh well, let's get right into it. Free agency. What do we have? Okay. So initial thoughts here. Just initially. I see 2 wingers. Toffoli and Hoffman. We can't afford more than 2 really good players like that, though. That's the only thing. We cannot afford 2 really good ones like that. Let's see. Toffoli is an 80... What did I just see? 85. So he would be... I guess it would whoever would win the battle between Besser and him, which would move Lindholm to our 3rd line and Ritchie to our 4th line. Hoffman would come in, instantly be our top line left wing at an 85. That's no question. Move Berchi and Spooner down to the 2nd and 3rd lines. Then we could go for a little more lower tier, like an older guy in Sedin or Marlowe. Could be a cheaper pickup. There's always DeCall. We could try to re-sign for 3 mil or so. Don't really want to do that, but there's options there. I'm most likely going to have to try to build a 4th line out of all these free agents. So that's something we're going to have to do there. But to fill that spot, I'm kind of thinking we should go after, let's just check defense because we don't really need any defense. I mean, we have Martinez, Brodin, and Smith, and then we have Shattenkirk, Bowie, and Elanco. Plus, we could always get someone at the end of free agency to fill Elanco's spot if he doesn't perform or we want him to play in the AHL. But there's no one really, high-end that I want to get. I mean, I don't really want to... I'd rather spend money into a Hoffman or a Toffoli than, another really good defenseman. Plus, we can get a guy at the very bottom here for under $1 million to play on our 3rd line. Like, that's not a big deal. At the end of free agency, most of these guys will go unsigned. Not a big deal there. But let's just check goaltenders. Okay, so none of the big ones that we wanted are there. I mean, we could get someone like from probably like on the screen is probably the range. Probably exclude Budai at the bottom. But any one of these guys would probably be someone I'd look for. Probably have to go see, look through their stats, see how they did, and potentially see who we get there. But let me try to construct a game plan and see what we want to do. I think I came up with a pretty good plan if I can get both of these players. Okay, so we have $15 million to spend in free agency without making a trade. So the 2 players I want to go for, left winger Mike Hoffman, right? It gives us a top line left wing. It gives us a superstar. It gives us goal scoring. And I would be very excited to that. Because if we don't get him, we'd have Berchi or a Spooner on our 1st line with Turris and Besser. And it would create a little bit more of a higher end players. Plus, if we do that, then we're going to have an all 80s, top 9, and top 6. I have to spend about 7.5 mil or so, maybe more, depending on, what we want to give them. But I'm planning for, obviously, the higher end. So 7.5 for Hoffman. Then, obviously, we need to get a backup goaltender. So as I pointed out before, we would probably try to go after someone from Markstrom down to Budai. And I found that person. It is the same person that we got before, Malcolm Subban. But if you look at his stats, he's been doing pretty well as a backup. So you remember him back when we had him, right? He was doing well in the AHL, then sucked in the NHL. And then he went off and became a pretty good backup. So we pay him 1.5 mil, 1.75, anywhere up to like 2 mil. We'll still be, we'll still have money. And plus we still need to build a fourth line, and we need to get a bunch of guys for the AHL. So if we can get these two guys, I'd be pretty excited. We offered too many contracts, so someone's going to be mad in the end. Kind of got a little bit of overboard, but let's see what's to come out of it. We did offer Hoffman 7.5 mil at 3 years, I believe it was, and we offered Subban 1.75 mil for 2 years, along with, I think it was Mark Letestu as our fourth line center, along with Trevor Lewis for around under 1.5 mil, I believe. I think it's 1.25. But let's see. Hopefully, these guys accept and we don't have to make a trade. So that's one of the AHL. Okay, so there's 2 of them. There's Letestu, Trevor Lewis, Subban. Okay, that guy didn't. That's fine. I don't really care about him. Okay. Okay, Hoffman still hasn't accepted yet. Do we still have space for him? So I probably should have went a little bit higher. But either way, let's see. Okay, so he doesn't want to sign with us. Unfortunately, that's okay. I mean, obviously, I wanted him. But here's kind of here's what I was thinking. So we could potentially either go with someone like Kreider, get an older guy like Sedin or Marlowe, or we can just go ahead and try to sign Del Call. I'm not worried about it. We have guys to fill the space, a lot of young guys that can fill the spot in the NHL. I'm not worried about that. The only spot we're missing now is the third line left wing, like I said, but we have guys that can cover that. So let's just fast forward, simulate a bunch, and hopefully Del Call signs that contract. And if not, we'll try to make, not try to trade him, but try to get him to sign it a little bit quicker than he is. But let's sim up to September 13th and see what happens. So it does look like Del Call got got tendered an offer sheet of $3.95 million for 1 year by the Dallas Stars. I do have the cap. If I want to retain his services, based on the salary, you'll receive a 1 draft pick as a second-round pick next year if you want to take that. For 1 year isn't bad, especially when we need to kind of eat up salary. But let's view his info, see if he's worth it. So he grew it to an 83 overall, which I was not expecting. If he actually comes out and B's an 83, like, technically, if he's an 83, he's the same overall as Birchie, right? But he doesn't really seem like an 83, especially from his performances. So what I'm going to do is actually match his offer, and we're going to keep him for 1 year. And if he doesn't perform this year, then you know what? We'll see what the future holds. But I'm going to match it. Match that offer. Now, hopefully, he comes out and earns that contract that we just matched him with. Because if he doesn't, that's $3.9 million we could have put towards someone else. We could have had Kreider, we could have had Marlowe, Sedin, anyone else there. Or we could have someone in the system like Belvier or Boivier, whatever the heck his name is, Shapley, Glass, someone else in the AHL system. We could have one of those guys come up and perform and hopefully do well. Entering the new year, I was expecting our owner goals to still be at State of the Team Rebuilder, hopeful for the playoffs. Our owner wants us to make the primary goal is to make the playoffs, right? First round of the playoffs, we could do that, right? I'm confident we could do that. Even though we've sucked, I still feel very, very confident. Secondary goals, I think we are a team that can compete. I want us to get 41 wins. 41? Where do you get 41? Secondary goal as well. Winning on the road is crucial for a good team. Get 20 road wins. That's like half. Unless we actually do very well this season, then we can do that. But I don't know. Those goals are very. You always want to look, above what your current goals are and set that bar extra high. But this might be a little too high for our team. But you know what? they can come out and shock me. He's also happy with the job we've done so far. Keep up what you're doing, even though you were kind of mad last year. Say that team is hopeful as a playoff hopeful. I fully expect us compete. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we know that. Okay. So here's the fun part going into this year. Here's the fun part. Oh, look at our team. So if we were to do kind of a similar to what we did last year, let me put it the way that it probably should go. If we were going to go with the plan of what I was expecting, this is what we'd have. Right here. Dalcall is now an 85 overall, instantly becoming tied for our best forward. You'd have Dzing on the fourth line along with Letestu and Lewis, right? It gives us a decent fourth line. And our forwards are, I don't want to say stacked, but if you count Richie as a couple overall higher because of his performance, then we have essentially an all 81, 82 plus forwards. Then you look at defense, we still have, the guys we expected, right? Alanko's there. Apparently, he really improved his defense last year. Now he's a 4.5 star. But here's the thing. We have a lot of guys that want to make a name for themselves, right? We already know what our NHL team is most likely going to be. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically send our entire NHL team down with the exception of a few guys like Alanko and Bowie, along with... Well, at least that's it on defense. Just Bowie and Alanko on D. Then at forward, we are going to keep up Dalcall. We're going to keep up... Who was the other guy? Besser, I think it was. Yeah, Besser. Yeah, we're going to keep Besser, Lindholm, Horvat, probably Pajot, Dalcall, and maybe one of these other guys. But we're essentially just going to swap out a lot of guys, depending on what we need. Because if you look at this scratch, when I best lines, you probably didn't see it. But we have 3 centers that all want to make a spot this year. Plus, if you look at our our AHL team, you have guys like Wolski. You have a couple guys we signed last year that are looking for spots, but probably not. We'll probably just stick with the 3 centers we have up there. But then look at our defense down here. This is insane. These are our top 6 defensemen. And you wonder why our defense is so stacked right now. I mean, Englund only 24, Logren's 21, Yaro's 24, Goldman 21, Turris 21, Dobson 20. I'm really excited to see what Dobson does, to be honest. I really am. However, we don't really have room for everyone up there, obviously. Because we don't have any extra space up there, and very rarely do we. So we are gonna keep up probably just Alanko, and probably take Bowie out, or maybe we'll split games. I don't really know. But Liljegren and Dobson are gonna go up at least for the preseason, along with all 3 of our left-handed defensemen. They're all gonna go up. Forwards, probably nobody. I mean, I can't really see them. None of them really making a spot other than the 3 guys that are already up there. Then goaltenders, I mean, I'll probably send Valhainen up if possible, but no one else is really there. I mean, you can even see we have 2 other, mid-70s guys that are just kind of waiting. Plus, I'm probably gonna try to sign this guy if we can, because this is one of those guys that that auto gives you for whatever reason. But as you can probably tell, it's gonna be a good preseason. But I'm gonna do that off camera. I'm not gonna do it on camera. It's not really on camera, but you guys know what I mean. But we're going to get to the preseason, and hopefully, and I'm going to say this every year until we make the playoffs, but hopefully with this new team, with our new young guys that are performing really well, hopefully we can do well. Hopefully we can make the playoffs. Hopefully this is the year that we can go on the Stanley Cup run. But it's almost hit an hour of when I've been recording. You guys are going to see obviously a lot less like usual. I'm going to wrap it up here though. If you did enjoy, hit the like button down below for the 14th episode. We had another big off season. We filled some key roles. You know, you can see the growth from our team, so I'm really excited for that one. Subscribe if you are not already. Make sure to check out the playlist at the end of the video in the end card, as well as on my channel. And as always, guys, we'll see you next time.
I want you forever, even when we're not together. Scars on my body so I can take you wherever. Like, I want you forever, even when we're not together. Scars on my body, I can look at you and never